What if I told you you can use one club for 9 holes and still break 40? I think I'm crazy, and maybe I am. But follow me, we're going to play 9 holes of golf with a children's 7-iron. Good afternoon, Lion Golf Academy members and guests, and thank you once again for joining me today at beautiful, sunny Palm Desert, where it's 107 degrees right now. And the benefit of that is I get to play a golf course that's pretty much wide open. So now's the time I get to display correct course management. How do we do this correctly with one club? Sometimes we have too many options in our club selection. Do I take the driver? Do I take the 3-iron? Do I take the hybrid? But what if you're forced with one club for every shot? Not only does that get your creativity up there, but you start to just accept your misses because you're forced with one club, so you're not as hard on yourself. It's almost like you're guaranteeing yourself to miss them, so when you do miss them, you think to yourself, I was going to miss it anyway. I don't feel that bad. Isn't life supposed to be like that? So follow me right now. I'm going to go play 9 holes of golf with one club. It's going to be a 7-iron junior club to make it even better. Let's see what I can shoot.
Alright everybody, this is voiceover Tony. I'm back inside now in a nice cool air-conditioned 75 degree room, which is a lot better than 106 degrees out today. I chose that 7-iron. I had a junior lesson prior to this, and I'd left my clubs at home, so I figured, well, let me just use the 7-iron that I have an extra one of and go make a video and see what I can shoot with one club. I typically used to do this when I was playing. I'd go out and play with one club all the time, and I would move clubs, 8-iron, 6-iron, hybrid only, and it would get my imagination up and would also force me to hit shots that I never really would have taken. And I don't really concern myself with distance as much because, you know, you can only hit a certain club so many yards, and you learn how to control that club. So I was able to do in this first hole, leave myself at the 70-yard flip wedge. Controlled it pretty good, got lucky, got a few lucky bounces, made the putt for par. So all in all, a pretty good start. Yeah, this next hole is a little bit tricky. It's a little bit dogleg left. Not too far, but I'm not going to get there in 2. So I just hit one right down the middle and hope for the best. Stay in the shade a little bit there. So about 180 left. Even if I swing this as hard as I can, I'm not going to get there with a children's 7-iron. So I just figured, let me keep it left. Let me get out of the way of the bunkers, because if I do bleed it right, go in those bunkers, that's where the big trouble comes into. So I just want to get a better view there, drive around that tree. So I chipped it just on the left side, went a little bit too far, but for me, that's okay. Limit the damages. If I can walk out with the longer holes with a 5, that's like par for me. So I was able to get this up and down 2 putts with the 7-iron. Putting with the 7-iron is pretty interesting. You just raise up the blade and just rock your shoulders. Sometimes I usually putt with the 7-iron because I'm such a bad putter that I just use another club. I use a wedge, driver. Even a broomstick is better sometimes. You know, this is actually our 4th hole, and I skipped the 3rd hole. And I didn't realize this until I drove out, and I thought to myself, wait a minute, I completely skipped a par 3. So I said, now's a good chance to get a nice, dramatic view. So I decided to pull up behind, leave the camera there, walk back there, and I had visions of this going on the green to get a nice, cool shot. But I pulled it left and long, and I left it about 40 yards past on the left side. But the good news is it was over the bunkers, which was my goal, and I just was able to chip it up there. You can see the ball rolling out, and it left me with 20-25 feet or so, and I was able to capitalize on it and 2-putt. So with putting with a 7-iron, I'm just focusing on distance control. I actually lipped the putt out there, almost made a great par. And you know, par and par 3 is what I'm shooting for. You know, typically in the par 5s and 4s, you're just trying to scrounge your way around to make par or bogey with one club. So I went back to my original drive, and this is my second shot. It's about 220. There's no way I'm getting home. So I just swung again, trying to leave myself a 70-yard pitch because I'm pretty comfortable with that distance. It just happened to be 60 yards, which is pretty close. I didn't want to go in those bunkers on the right side or the left side, so I just decided to hit it further and give myself a chip or a putt. And in this case, it was a chip, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer so you can see it. Breaks right to left pretty severely at the very end, and I was able to get pretty close and secure my bogey. So I'm okay. I'm pretty happy right now. I'm sitting at 3 over through 4, and I've got a few opportune holes. Now, I didn't know that our fifth hole was closed, and they had some renovations going on there, so I drove all the way around to one of our holes adjacent to the fifth hole, which is on our back nine, and it's about the same comparable distance, so it worked out fine. So I'm setting up the camera here, walking back. I'm going to play this par 4. It's 310 yards. Now keep in mind, I know that this golf course is short. I think all in all I played 2,900 yards from where the tee box is, so I know that it is shorter. It's still a great thing to try and do to get your creativity up. This was probably the best shot of the day, 140 yards. It never really left the pin. I guess I timed that flippy shaft pretty well, and you can see the result. See the results about 10 feet, zoomed in a little bit so you can see this. It's my birdie putt, so I know I need to make this just to capitalize and give myself some head start. And luckily enough for me, I give myself a little fist bump here and said I'm back in it. So I'm plus 2 through 5, sitting really good. Got a par 3, par 5, and 2 par 4s to close out the round. So this par 3 has a water feature all the way in the front, so this kind of made me nervous because it's sitting at a weird distance. It's not a full swing. I don't want to blast it in those houses and crack somebody's barbecue, but also I don't want to chunk it. So I took a little bit of time, aimed to further left, tried to cut across it. Did okay. I blocked it out to the right a little bit, but it's still on the green, back of the green. So I had, a pretty decent putt. Now what I did here is I flipped my 7-iron the other way. So whenever I have a little longer putt, I don't want to use the blade because I might top it or come up on it, so I flip the club around and putt lefty, and that club, most clubs usually have a nice flat edge on the back that you can use for a putter. I was able to secure my 2 putts and move on. Again, my focus for putting with a 7-iron or any other club is just distance control. And this par 5 here, I figured, okay, I can get pretty close in 2 and maybe get this clip, but I was really thinking about not killing that lady on the right side. All I wanted to do is have video evidence of it too, so I just decided, just aim left and double cross myself, and I pulled it left, still went in the middle of the fairway, which is fine. You can't really go wrong with an iron off the tee. There's so much forgiveness for that. Next shot, I'm just trying to blast this on the right side, open up that green because that pin is a little bit tucked on the left side there. So I shot it out to the right and hit it pretty solid. And it should leave me with a nice controlled 7-iron, kind of like that par 3. This shot here, I saw those bunkers and I thought to myself, just don't get into the bunkers because that's your whole round shot. Once you're in the bunkers with a 7-iron, it's pretty hard. I thought I blew it over, but it was actually fortunate enough, carried the right bunker on the right side there, about pin high. Again, backwards 7-iron, popped it to a couple feet, knocked it in, so I'm still 2 over through 7. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy right now. 2 holes left. Can I bring it home? Figured I'd get this face on down the line view. I just really didn't want to hit my camera. That's all I cared about, so I got a little lucky there. Alright, left with a shot here. I'm trying to get as close as I can because I want to kind of hit a bump and run chip, so I double crossed myself, pulled it, and I thought that was it, because now I'm left with a really tough, this was probably the toughest shot of the day. Had to get it over that bunker, and that pin's on the left side. Had to open up that 7-iron. I was able to get my wrist into it, popped it up nice and high. You can see it landed on the green and spun right, and everything kicks off to the right. Backhanded 7, a couple backhanded 7s, I'm back into it. So bogey, I'll take bogey from there. It could have been a lot worse if I hadn't controlled that. And now I'm on the home stretch, 3 over. Let's see if I can bring it home. It's a par 35, so I have 1 shot in the bank, but I just figured pretty fairly easy hole. Just keep it, that 7-iron is not going to get anywhere near those bunkers. Nice wide open fairway. Just put it up there. And now I'm on the home stretch, final shot. Let me see if I can get it close. So sitting in the middle of the fairway, got about 160 in. This is a full 7-iron with those children's clubs, and it all depends on when that shaft kicks. So I just kind of took a slower swing, came through it really nicely. I thought it was going to get to the green. It landed just shy of it, but still a couple shots away. Little bump and run, Paul Runyon shot right here. Just control it, get this thing as close as I can, and let me see if this is the pressure putt. So this will be for a 38, and I was able to make it. So all in all, I think I played pretty well. 38, which is 3 over. We have a par 35. I hit all fairways in regulation, 3 out of 9 greens in regulation, 14 putts, 0 bunkers, 0 water hazards, and 0 OBs. And you'll probably see a lot of these zeros if you do that one club, because most of the club designers design all the water hazards and bunkers in play of drivers and in play of longer clubs. So you take all that out of the equation. Plus, it also gets your creativity going, your confidence is up, you hit a lot better shots, you're swinging easier, and you're also trying shots you never tried before. So give this a try. You might be very surprised at the results, and I'll see you next time. Fairways and greens.